Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." As leaders, we all have a role to play in contributing to a sustainable future in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which will be referred to as SDG goals hereafter. Syndicate 9 chose to focus on SDG 4.6, which focuses on quality education. The focal point being on the low quintile schools that are often faced with many challenges. Challenges are more prevalent on early development phases, where development of the core muscle for maths and science literacy needs to be developed. Quality education speaks to bettering socioeconomic standards and alleviating poverty. In our way, we have designed a prototype that will contribute to resolve this problem. The business model canvas was pivotal to help put the team ideas into perspective and brainstorming the problems and conceptualizing the solution. The outputs of the BMC were key to clarifying the brief and the required building blocks of the project. Therefore, to make the innovative ideas come to life, a design thinking process was followed, guided by the double diamond method. The double diamond design method will serve as a map for the creative process. The first stage, discover. A considerable amount of time was spent on brainstorming to deep dive in understanding the challenge at hand. Relevant sources were consulted from literature to list the prevalent problems. In the discover phase, the focus was on defining the challenges through execution of the following steps: desktop research, service safari, user interviews, and the outcomes of these is the research report. From the research report, key issues highlighted were firstly language barriers. This was highlighted through the interviews with the teachers and the parents. Secondly, high learner-teacher ratio, which is on average 30.4:1 as cited by Angie Motshekga. And thirdly, limited support in maths and science based on the interviews. To close this out, the problem statement derived at was challenges such as limited access to after-school learning, language barriers, a shortage to teaching resources, and inefficient learning styles can hinder students' academic achievement in mathematics, ultimately limiting the learning process. The personas are used to put a face to the audience that the solution is being crafted for. The personas provide insights into the audience demographic, challenges, and their aspirations. The personas were developed from the work done in the discover phase. These personas are important levers in the development of the innovative solution. The audience are teacher, parent, and learner. The aspirations for the personas link back to the key issues identified in the problem statement. In extension to the personas, user journey maps have been designed to understand a day in the life of respective audience to help understand gaps and opportunities to develop ideas. The key takeaways of the user journey maps are compartmentalized into gaps and opportunities. From a gaps perspectives, we identified that there were inefficient learning styles and overpopulated classrooms. And there's no access to learning after school, and there are other learning barriers as well. Opportunities are digital platforms with multiple learning methods and languages. Based on the problem statement and to help close the gaps identified, the following ideas were brainstormed, and the main idea selected was the digital learning platform.
Thank you, Kele. I will be focusing on stages 3 and 4 of the double diamond and concluding with the business model. Considering the design philosophy and subsequent to the design and define process, we moved into the development stage. Storyboarding helped us as designers to visualize our ideas in a narrative format. Using a sequence of sketches, we created our storyboard. Our storyboard, as shown, Sipho is a grade 1 pupil. His parents speak Zulu, however they are illiterate. They live in rural area of KwaZulu-Natal. Sipho has 42 other learners in his class, with one teacher who explains the maths problems. While he somewhat understands maths in class, he finds homework difficult where he's unsure of the answer when he gets it wrong. In addition, the teacher is unable to assist all 42 learners in the class, considering that they have a defined time for the lesson. Sipo needs assistance with maths and explanation in his own language. Also, being in grade 1, he wants to have fun while learning. Sipo's teacher also wants to know at which point or where would be his development. Remaining in the development stage and in continuation of our storyboarding, a prototype was created. Our prototype was called Project Funda, with the intention to create value to assist parents, learners, and teachers using mobile devices such as a tablet or a laptop. The landing page will allow the user to select any language of preference. In this example, the learner will select I am the kid option. Following the selection, the learner will then select the grade, and in this case, it is grade 1. To demonstrate this in terms of our prototype, the character will ask in Zulu, how many eyes do I have? The child will answer a number. Assuming the answer is wrong, a teacher character will assist in explaining the specific answer. This screen shows the teacher explaining the answer of 5 plus 3 to get 8. This will ensure an understanding of how that answer is then created. Our prototype also focuses on the calendar in terms of schedule and milestones. The recorded data will then be made available to a teacher or a parent to determine the child's progress. The child's duration on the app and other data will also be extracted, which could be used by the Department of Education, for example. In the concept testing phase, before we heavily invest our resources, feedback was included. In addressing this, we considered sponsorships and reverse billing, looking at our target users. Focus on refining our solution, we received feedback in terms of measurement, market plan, and pitch. We pitched the project Funda to Syndicates 2 and 7, and we received feedback in terms of scalability and business modeling. In drawing from all the processes of converging and diverging, we have arrived at the solution of a web app addressing the current innovation gap aligned to SDG of quality education. Our business model will be freemium, and as part of our initial launch, with the ability to scale, we will be launching it in Zulu. We will also have opportunities for advertising so that we would be able to create additional revenue that would be a spin-off of our application. In conclusion, we have followed the double diamond design for innovation and produce a minimum viable product. We thank you.